Something's been bothering you about your hair. Not just today. For months. You've tried different stylists, different products. It still isn't right. And here's what nobody's telling you. It might not be your hair at all. It might be the cut itself. The wrong haircut after 50 isn't just unflattering, it's actively adding years. Not 1 or 2. We're talking 4 to 7 years, quietly, every single morning in the mirror. This video covers 5 specific haircuts that genuinely work for women in their 50s and beyond. The kind that lift your face, open your features, and make people ask what you've been doing differently. Part 3 alone has made women stop in their tracks when they saw the result. I researched the worst style and beauty mistakes and the best fixes for women over 50, so you get real results, fast. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. I cover this every week. Part 1. The long layered cut with face framing pieces. You've probably worn your hair long for years. And I get it. There's something about length that feels safe, feels feminine, feels like you. But here's the thing most women don't realize until someone finally says it out loud. Long hair without the right structure doesn't just sit there. It pulls downward against every feature you have. This is the one a friend of mine heard and actually called her stylist from the parking lot. Because it clicked that fast. The long layered cut with face framing pieces is the answer to that pull. And the reason it works is something most people never stop to think about. When hair has no layers and no face framing structure, it creates a visual weight problem. The eye follows the hair down, and it takes your cheekbones, your jawline, and the lift of your eyes with it. The result reads as tired, as heavy, as older than you actually are. And here's what's interesting. Women think they need shorter hair to fix this. They don't. That's the part nobody tells you. You can keep real, beautiful length and completely change what your face does in a photograph just by changing where the weight sits. The fix is a long layered cut, hair that falls anywhere from just below the collarbone to mid-back, combined with 2 to 3 face framing pieces cut to graze the cheekbone or brush the jaw. Those front pieces are doing everything. They draw the eye up. They create a frame around your features instead of a weight below them. Tell your stylist, I want long layers with soft face framing pieces that hit around my cheekbone. That's the sentence. Use it exactly. Maintenance on this cut is simple. Ask for a trim every 8 to 10 weeks, just the ends and the face framing pieces. You don't need a full cut every time. You just need those front pieces kept at the right length, so the frame stays sharp. The difference you're going to see in photos? It's immediate. Your bone structure was always this good. The right cut just finally lets it show. Coming up next, the one swap that takes 30 seconds and changes how your entire face reads on camera. Part 2. The soft shag with curtain bangs. Let's talk about something most women write off before they even try it. The shag cut. And I know when you hear shag, your mind goes somewhere very specific. Maybe the 1970s. Maybe a look that feels too young, too messy, too much. Stay with me for just a minute because the modern version of this cut is doing something genuinely remarkable for women over 50. Here's the truth about your hair right now, and I say this with real care. After 50, hair texture changes, volume changes, and cuts that worked beautifully at 35 start doing something different to your face. Not because your face changed, because the cut stopped fitting the face you actually have now. The soft shag works because it's built entirely on layers, not blunt weight, not uniform length, but graduated texture that creates movement from root to tip. And when you add curtain bangs, those soft, parted in the middle pieces that sweep away from the face, something almost architectural happens. Write this one down. Curtain bangs work with bone structure the way nothing else does after 50. They draw the eye horizontally across the face, which widens narrow foreheads, softens strong jawlines, and creates the illusion of lifted cheekbones without a single thing done to the cheekbones themselves. This is the cut I see most on women who get stopped by strangers and asked if they've done something different. They haven't changed anything else. Just this. The swap here is straightforward. If you're still wearing a blunt one-length cut that sits below the chin with no layers and no fringe, swap it for a soft shag that ends at the collarbone with curtain bangs that land just above your brows. The collarbone length keeps the femininity. The layers add the lift. The bangs do the rest. Maintenance tip. Curtain bangs need a trim every 5 to 6 weeks. They grow out fast and lose their shape quickly. That's the one appointment you don't skip. The next mistake is the one I see most often. And honestly, the most expensive one to fix if you leave it too long. Part 3, the textured pixie with longer crown. Right. This is the part. The one people message me about after watching. Every single time. The pixie cut has a reputation. Short. Boyish. Something you do when you've given up on hair. That's actually what some women are told. And it makes me furious, because a pixie done right is one of the most elegant, most powerful cuts a woman can wear after 50. The problem isn't the pixie. The problem is how it's usually cut. Most pixies for mature women are cut flat. Uniform. Close to the head on all sides with no volume, no direction, no intention. And that flat shape does something very specific and very unkind to the face. It amplifies the jaw area, presses the cheeks downward, and strips the entire upper half of the face of its structure. Here's the thing about volume and where it sits. Your face reads younger when the widest visual point is at the temples and crown, not at the jaw. A flat-top pixie reverses that entirely. It makes the lower face the widest point, and that pushes everything that gravity has already touched even further down. The textured pixie with a longer crown fixes this completely. This version keeps the sides short, closely cut at the temples and tapered at the neck, but leaves the crown 2 to 3 inches longer, with razored, piecewise texture throughout. That extra length on top creates lift. Visual lift. The kind that repositions your cheekbones upward without touching them. This one is everything. The swap. If you're wearing a flat close-cut pixie with uniform length all over, ask your stylist to leave the crown 2 to 3 inches longer on your next visit, and use a razor to break up the texture at the top. That single change repositions the visual weight of your entire face. Tell your stylist, I want a textured pixie, sides tapered short, crown kept longer, razor finished for movement. Write that down. Say it exactly. Maintenance here is every 6 weeks. The taper at the sides grows out fast, and when it loses shape, the whole effect collapses. 6 weeks. Don't stretch it. What I'm covering in the next part. Most women find it even harder to hear. But it's the one that matters most. Part 4. The chin length bob with internal layers. Can we talk honestly for a second? Because this one is going to surprise a few of you. The bob. The classic chin length bob. It is probably the most recommended haircut for women over 50. And when it's done wrong, it is one of the most aging cuts you can wear. I know that's not what you've been told. But the blunt chin length bob that stylists still hand out like a default prescription? It has a specific problem that nobody talks about. The blunt chin length bob with no internal layers stops at the chin, which is also where the jaw is. And when a hard horizontal line of hair ends right at the jaw, it draws the eye directly to the jaw, not upward, not to your eyes, not to your cheekbones. The jaw. Every single time. After 50, the jaw area has naturally changed. There's a softening that happens, and that's not a problem. That's just real life. But pointing a hard visual line directly at it every day is adding years in a way that has nothing to do with aging and everything to do with the cut. The fix is not a different length. It's internal layers. Here's what changes. Internal layers are cut underneath the surface of the bob, not into the outer line, which stays the same, but into the weight beneath. This removes the bulk that causes the heavy swing, creates natural movement through the ends, and allows the outer shape to skim the jaw rather than land on it. Yes, that's simple. The visual effect is completely different. The bob still reads as clean and polished. But instead of a blunt weight hitting the jaw, the ends have movement. They graze, they lift slightly, they breathe. The jaw area suddenly has space around it instead of hair sitting on top of it. The swap. If you're wearing a blunt chin-length bob with no layering, ask your stylist specifically for internal layers on your next visit, without changing the outer length. The outer shape stays. The inside changes. And the result is a bob that suddenly looks like it was cut for you specifically, not handed to you as a default. Maintenance is every 8 weeks. Internal layers are subtle. They don't need constant upkeep. But by 10 weeks the weight starts building back up at the ends and the movement disappears. There's one thing about the next haircut that nobody in this space talks about. That's next. Part 5. the collarbone length cut with soft waves. This is the one most women sleep on. And I genuinely don't understand why, because it works on almost every face shape, every hair type, and every woman over 50 without exception. The collarbone length cut with soft waves is the closest thing to a universal answer that exists in haircuts. And it still gets passed over in favor of cuts that are working a lot harder for a lot less result. Here's what makes this length specific and intentional, not just a random, in-between length. The collarbone is a natural focal point. When hair ends there, the eye travels from the face downward and stops at the collarbone, and then moves back up. That upward return of the gaze is what creates the lifted effect. It is the hair equivalent of a V-neckline. It draws attention upward and inward, toward your features, instead of pulling attention to the sides or the jaw. Now add soft waves to that length. Not tight curls, not a perm, not even a defined wave set. Just a soft, loose, natural-looking wave through the mid-lengths and ends. And what happens is remarkable. The waves create horizontal movement through the hair, which visually widens the upper face, adds a sense of volume that fine hair often loses after 50, and gives the entire style a softness that blunt cuts simply cannot achieve. I watched a woman in a salon chair last week. Stunning bone structure, perfect posture, and she kept asking the stylist to just tidy it up. Same blunt length, same flat texture. She didn't know what she was actually asking for, because what she needed wasn't a tidy version of the same cut. She needed this one. This is the before and after that makes people think you've had work done. You haven't. You just finally have the right cut. The swap is this. If you're wearing a blunt straight cut that falls past your shoulders without any texture or movement, take it up to the collarbone and ask for soft waves blown in with a large barrel wand or round brush during styling. You don't need a chemical wave. You need the technique. Ask your stylist for collarbone length with a soft wave finish using a large barrel. That's the instruction. Maintenance here is every 10 weeks on the cut. The length holds well, but the styling technique is what keeps it alive every day. Invest 5 minutes in the wave. It is the 5 minutes that changes everything. Your bone structure is extraordinary. These beautiful eyes, this natural elegance, they've been here the whole time. The right cut just finally gets out of the way and lets them do what they've always been capable of doing. You just learned 5 specific, named haircuts that genuinely work for women over 50, and more importantly, you now know exactly why each one works, what to ask for, and what to stop doing. That's years of trial and error, handled in one sitting. Boom! Your bone structure was always this stunning. Now it shows. Tell me in the comments, which of these 5 cuts are you most curious to try? And if you've already made the switch to one of them, I want to hear how it changed things for you. Next time, we're getting into the one makeup mistake that adds 10 years overnight, and it's not what you'd expect. Like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I'll see you in the next one.